Hey y'all, this is the People versus OJ. This is episode 8. And if you want me to put the link up on my Twitter page at Jazz Shaman, y'all go ahead and like this video. Cause I'm serious. If it ain't liked, I'm not putting it up there. But anyways, I wasn't able to do it last night. Usually try to do it right after it goes off, but I wasn't able to do it last night because I was at church. So I mean, this should be a quick review, or at least quicker than normal, because ain't much happened. This episode was mostly just about the jurors. So let's get into it. So first off is them showing the jurors, and the jurors are basically losing it. They're talking to the deputies. They're like, I'm so sick of this. Like, it's been 8 months. When is this case going to be over? Okay, you told us that it would last, the longest 2 months. I want to go home. So they're like, you need to go. And they're losing it. Like they're like, we don't have any TV. And I was like, I kind of felt bad for them. I don't think I could do that. Cause that's something we don't think about when we watch the show and all that. When they drag this case out for months and months and months, those jurors cannot go home at all. They cannot even. They're very restricted on talking to their family. They have curfews. They can't even go in each other's rooms. They are, always have to have the deputies with them when they're not in the room. They end up having to like wash them, get their food, and when they do give them TV time, they all have to watch TV together, and then they have to basically decide on what show that they want to watch. So, the black people are like, I want to watch Martin, and one of the black jurors was like, I don't want to watch that clown. And they was like, well, he's supposed to be funny. He's a comedian. And then you got the white jurors who are saying, let's watch Seinfeld. And the black jurors are like, what is Seinfeld? They were like, a show, and he's way better than Martin. So they was like, okay, let's just come up with the vote. And the deputy was like, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's just vote on which show we're going to watch. So they ended up voting Martin, and they were all excited. And the deputies also told them, we're going to watch this show. There will be minimal talking, minimal laughing. Like, it kind of feels like they're in jail. Like, I know they're getting paid and they're getting this free food, but they are so restricted, and I don't think I could do it that long. That is like horrible to me. It is. That is so horrible. They can't even read everything. Like, somebody was going to the room with they showed the jurors, I forgot to say that they flashed back 8 months when the trial first started. And one of the jurors had a little pamphlet or whatever to read, and they were like, yeah, we're going to have to check this out first to determine whether it's appropriate or not for you to be able to read. I'm like, damn, for real? So anyways, back to the case. They have this criminalist on trial, and he is basically talking about the whole DNA situation. He's saying that, of course, the blood that he found of the 2 victims was also, near. It was near OJ's blood, basically. Okay, they tried to talk about it without saying his name, but it was near OJ's blood. They was like, is it possible that it could have been anybody else's? And he was like, not with those characteristics, okay? that it's only possible, what do you say, 1 in 179 million. So everybody's sitting there like, oh, like, man, this is not going good. And so Marsha's loving it. So anyways, back to the jurors. One of them, who is a young black man, he was juror number 620, and they called him out while they were all eating, and he's like, what's this for? And so he goes in to see Judge Ito, and Cochran and Marsha Clark is in there, and Judge Ito is like, do you have past kidnapping charges? And he like, Judge, I think I remember that. No, I ain't got that. I think I remember that. And he was like, he showed him the little, his photo of his mugshot and all the whole file. He's like, oh, you mean, see, man, that was my wife, right? And it wasn't no big deal. She forgave me. And then he's like looking at him. He's like, you know what, Judge? I mean, we was in the car. I just, I locked the car door. We rolled around the block a couple of times. You know how women are, man. It wasn't nothing. So they end up deciding, they let him leave out, and Cochran is like, look, that was something between his wife. It wasn't that serious. Marsha's like, it's domestic violence, okay? And he can't be on the jury. So Ito ends up siding with Clark, and they kick juror 620 out. And so while they're in there talking, the other jurors and the deputy comes in and takes his stuff away. They was like, man, what did he do? And the deputy was like, all I can tell you is that he's been dismissed from the trial. And so juror, I believe, was 462, actress Coco Brown, she's like, well, they gonna just keep going till they get rid of us. She's talking about the black people. So we go on to I guess court, and the criminalist is back on the stand. Now the dream team has somebody I have not seen before. I do not even know what this lawyer's name is, but he gets up there and he basically he's questioning the criminalist, and he's like, well, basically he calls out that the blood and stuff that they took, the samples of it, was strictly from the LAPD. The LAPD went and handed them the blood to take the samples of. He was like, is that basically protocol? He was like, no, it isn't. And the blanket that you tested with Nicole's blood, were you aware that that blanket was Nicole's blanket and it came from inside of her house? And he was like, I didn't find out till afterwards. Wow. A criminalist makes those type of mistakes. He's like, okay. He's like, do you usually make mistakes? Is this your first time making mistakes on this trial? Or this case, I should say. And he's like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So then he ends up getting off, and Marsha Clark is looking like he's embarrassing. Like she's embarrassed. He walks over. He sees Marsha Clark, doesn't even look at him. He goes over to Darton, shakes Darton's hand, walks over to the dream team, shakes everybody, including OJ's hand, over there. And and yeah, they're like, is he over there shaking their hands? So the dream team is back up again. Bobby, he's been he's been in doubt because of the whole 1 in 179 million. Okay, he's like, and it was everywhere. It was everywhere, and he ended up talking to the lawyer that basically um questioned the criminalist, and he was like, well, it was mishandled. That's how we answered. It was mishandled. And he was like, well, all of it was mishandled. He was like, well, some of it is. And if some of it was mishandled from the LAPD, then all of it is. So Bobby also is in doubt, and he goes to OJ, and they're like, I guess, playing cards. And he's telling them that basically nobody came because everybody's such in doubt because of the numbers. And this was before the lawyer went to the criminalist. And he's like, well, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you know, are they in doubt or are you in doubt? And he's like, well, it's them, of course, of course. So Bobby is not really believing his friend at this moment, but that attorney helped a lot. What else happened? Going back to the jurors, they call in juror 462, and they ask her, had she filed charges on her husband for domestic violence. She was like, what? I mean, no, but it was like, it wasn't nothing. It wasn't nothing. And so basically they end up dismissing her because she had filed domestic charges on her husband. And so Johnny later on goes to Marsha and was like, I see what you're doing here. And then she was like, do you care to explain? He was like, you are trying to get the jurors that already pled not guilty. You're trying to dismiss them. And she was like, you know what? I have nothing to do with it. Okay? You always said the truth is what matters. Well, that's the truth. So now Johnny goes back to his team, and he's like, so they just trying to get rid of everybody that's on not guilty. They done already got rid of 2. So what we need to do is we need to go and check their files, the guilty team, and start getting rid of them. So then they start getting rid of the guilty team, and then Marsha starts getting rid of the not guilty. The one guy came in, and he showed him a picture of him and OJ. He was like, who is this? He was like, that's OJ. And who is that? That's me. You come on now, get out. So they just like getting rid of jurors left and right. One juror ends up coming into Judge Ito's office. Is like, I'm so tired of this. Like, I'm done. I'm so tired. Like, it's ridiculous. I want to go home. And those deputies, they don't treat us right because we're black. And he was like, well, how is that so, juror? And she was like, my name is Tracy. So he's trying to be gentle with her. And he's like, okay, so what did they do? And she was like, they're so unfair to us. Like, they treat the white people, the white jurors, they give them all these special privileges, and they're so mean to us. Like, they go to Target, and they give them an hour. And then we go to Ross's, and they get us 30 minutes. I'm just tired of this. And he was like, oh, okay. uh, what about Ross's though? Like, what is it? And she was like, they know black people love Ross. So Johnny in the background like, that's true. That's true. So he's like, I'm sorry to hear about that. And she was like, yeah, I just think they're so unfair. And they just, she already feels like the deputies have cameras and stuff in her room. Because I guess she's more of an attractive juror. And so she ain't feeling it at all. So Ito was like, well, what I can do is I can basically trade all the deputies out. Okay, and will you work with us then? Will you try to stay then? She was like, well, I guess. So the deputies come in and they're like, we're all leaving. We've all been traded out. And so the other jurors are like, what's going on here? Oh, and also they found out that it's this one juror on the team. She's been a juror plenty of times. They nicknamed her the Demon. Okay, because she don't play. She just about always find people guilty. So they want to get her off. Johnny Cochran's team want to get her off. Now Marsha is like, we need her. Do you see the way she looks at Johnny? Yeah, we need her. So then later on a letter comes in to Ito and them about Judge Ito and Marsha Clark and Cochran about how one of the supposed jurors, an older juror, guessing the older white juror, has been taking down certain information to write a book on this whole story about Nicole and this trial. So Marsha's like, well, that's ridiculous. Obviously, the defense is trying to come up with some ridiculous reason to get rid of the juror. And Cochran is like, no, we are not. Okay, Judge, you should dismiss her. And Marsha's like, go ahead and throw that paper in the trash. So Ito tells him to shut up. He's gonna handle it. And he's just gonna talk to all the jurors on his own to find out. So then when they go back to trial, when I guess the court reporters or something came to Judge Ito and was like, I just got a call that the jurors are not coming in. He was like, they all are coming in. Tell them they're coming in or I'm holding them in contempt. And so the jurors walk in and about 10 out of 12 of them had on black. And I'm like, what in the hell is going on? I'm so confused. And then you got this one juror who's she's black, but she's also she looks very professional. And she wants to be very professional. And I don't know what the hell is going on. I'm confused. But she's standing up and she giving Ito the eye like, I got this. So we're going to see on next episode. I'm confused as hell on what's going on. I have no idea. So that's it, y'all. Thanks for watching. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at JazzShaman. And y'all be easy. Peace.